I feel like in my heart that this will be my last season. I'm a mad dog who's only concerned about winning.
With talk of retirement, winning is imperative for Charles Barkley today. In Game 7 against the Houston Rockets, a man driven to fulfill his only unrealized basketball ambition in what could very well be his last chance. While Barkley tries to fulfill his dream, the Denver Nuggets continue to live theirs. Their playoff run has captivated fans in Denver and points beyond. It began with an historic first-round upset of the Seattle Supersonics. And now, as a second act, Denver has come back from 3 games down in round 2 to force today's deciding contest with the Utah Jazz. So it's 7th heaven in the West, with the winners moving on to the conference final.
Well, I used to walk around with my eyes on fire.
Sometimes the fire burns bright in Charles Barkley. Sometimes it does not. Perhaps the sports world's most complicated role model. Some say he carries the NBA's mantle. Today, he just needs to carry his Phoenix Suns. Team success has been directly linked to Barkley's individual success. While his failures have put this once sure-win series in peril, now the ultimate NBA pressure cooker awaits, a deciding Game 7. Sure, you can laugh in the face of sudden death, but will that fire burn bright today?
We're going to go down shooting, and we're going to make sure there's no bullets left in our gun when it's over with.
Better than 16,000, a capacity crowd at the Summit. Houston fans embracing the Rockets for the 7th and deciding game of the Western Conference semifinal, and the home team has won 14 consecutive 7s. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, along with Matt Guokas. And Matt, the last time that a visiting team won a Game 7 was back in 1982. Philadelphia 76ers did it to the Boston Celtics in Boston in the Eastern Final. So this will not be an easy task for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, there are a few factors in favor of the Sun. They are 9-6 in road playoff games over the last 2 years.
The Summit. And ready to check out the starting lineups. First for the Suns, Kevin Johnson and a slumping Dan Marley. 1 for his last 13 from the field. Up front, Phoenix staying with the revamped starting lineup. Oliver Miller with A.C. Green rather than Cedric Ceballos. And Charles Barkley playing through that full groin muscle. There's Paul Westphal. Last year in his first season as head coach, guided the Suns to 62 wins. Most ever by a rookie coach. This is second year. Hopes to advance to the conference finals. Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith in the backcourt for Houston. Maxwell ejected in the closing minutes of game number 6. Akeem Olajuwon along with Robert Horry and Otis Thorpe. Thorpe has had an outstanding series. Rudy Tomjanovich in his second full season as coach of the Rockets. Took over as an interim coach for the final 30 games of 91-92. Helped to turn things around last year. In fact, finished only one first place vote behind Pat Riley in the Coach of the Year balloting. And the officials, Daryl Garrison, Dick Bavetta, and Bill Oates. Game 7 between the Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns. And we are underway. Kevin Johnson controlling the opening tip. Kenny Smith defending on Johnson. Nice pass, and Barkley is fouled. The foul committed by Horry.
Well, the Phoenix Suns have put in a couple of new plays about 2 or 3 games ago when they felt the Rockets were sitting in and waiting for just about everything. This is one made up just before the start of the game to try to get Charles Barkley going. It's very important that Charles not only do some scoring, but he's aware that he has to create shots for other people. Of course, Kevin Johnson is able to do that as well.
Well, in the 3 losses suffered by the Phoenix Suns. Charles Barkley went to the line only 6 times, and you can see the way things have changed in this series against Houston. He averaged 37 a game against the Golden State Warriors in that first-round sweep. That figure, though, ballooned by the sensational 56-point performance against the Warriors. Horry beating the Suns down the floor.
Well, this is a pet play of the Houston Rockets. They normally save it for late in the game when they just kind of catch you sleeping. Here they picked the first offensive play of the game to catch the Suns napping.
Game tied at 2. Johnson off the pick. Shot clock at 5. Barkley for 3. And rebounded by Thorpe.
Well, the Houston Rockets would be very happy if Charles Barkley stood out on the perimeter and shot a lot of jump shots.
Kenny Smith able to penetrate.
Well, we talk about both Smith and Maxwell being right around 50%. They take so many three-point shots, it's hard to shoot that high percentage, but that's how you get it up, by taking the ball to the basket.
Oliver Miller for Dan Marley. Barkley getting the good position. Rebounded by Olajuwon.
He did, but he started to fade away because he knew Hakeem was on his way. He has been playing goalie back there and has done an outstanding job of covering up in the lane, blocking and changing shots.
Horry for 3. Robert Horry, second-year player from Alabama, hitting from downtown. Horry shooting 32% from three-point land during the regular season. Rockets with a 7-2 start. Shot clock at 5. Open 3 for A.C. Green. He has been on fire in that department.
So far, both teams happy to give up the perimeter shot by A.C. Green, or the Suns, in the case, giving up to Robert Horry, even though Horry made his and A.C. made 3 the other night. They'd rather see those kinds of shots.
Olajuwon to the fadeaway. It's the Rockets 9, the Suns 2.
Well, he obviously has a soft touch, but that's ridiculous. That thing went about 8 feet in the air before it fell through the net.
A 9-0 run by the Rockets after Phoenix scored the first basket of the game. Well, this has certainly been an unusual series. The Suns winning the first 2 games here in Houston. How about game 2? Suns down 20 points in the fourth quarter, come from behind here in Houston. There were people calling the Rockets chokers. Then in game 3, Vernon Maxwell with a strong second half finish with 34, propelling the Rockets to the win. The Rockets even the series with that win in game number 4. And then in game 5, the Suns held to 39% shooting, and the Rockets with a convincing victory. Game 6 Thursday, the Suns back for the 103-89 win. A revived Phoenix offense on Thursday night. Well, Houston has hit all 4 of its shot attempts. Phoenix 0 for 3. Kevin Johnson unleashing. Rebounded by Horry. Here's Vernon Maxwell on the open floor. Maxwell with a high feed handled by Olajuwon. Off the double team. Not able to hit, and Miller comes up with the rebound.
Well, Hakeem got himself caught too far underneath the rim, mainly because he was shoved there by Oliver Miller. Still able to use his athletic ability to get up a clear shot at the hoop.
Marley for 3. Well, Dan Marley from way out. He continues to have the shooting problem. Nice pass from Miller, but Johnson came up short.
Now, this is the one thing that the Suns did not want to happen. They wanted to get off to a good start, somewhat keep this crowd under control, and score close to 30 points in this first quarter.
Kenny Smith off the mark. Miller with the outlet. And here comes Johnson going all the way. Kevin Johnson on the penetration. So the Suns missed their first 6 shots and finally convert.
And they get that fast break mainly because Kenny Smith fell to the floor and Maxwell stopped to help him up instead of first sprinting back on defense. Maybe could have stopped that play. Rockets 9, the Suns 4. Olajuwon played on a switch by Marley. Shot clock is down to 5. Horry for 3. Oh, this time from straightaway. Robert Horry with his second from downtown. And Charles Barkley up 12 to 4. Charles Barkley just staring at him. He's probably going to have to make a couple more before Barkley goes out on him.
AC Green passed up on a three-point possibility. Oliver Miller. Offensive foul, says Dick Vermeer.
Oliver Miller rarely makes an offensive move like that in the lane. He knew he was in trouble because Akeem Olajuwon challenges every shot, even jump hooks, and Miller knew he was in trouble. That's why he pushed off.
4 minutes gone by. Rockets 12, the Suns 4. Olajuwon. And Barkley with the rebound. Kevin Johnson with a one-on-one move stopped by Kenny Smith. Miller way off. And back comes Smith. Maxwell. Once again, the Rockets beating the Suns down court.
Phoenix not really ready for Miller to take that kind of shot. Yes, he does have to keep Olajuwon somewhat busy, but he's got to get a much better percentage shot than that last one. That was a wild one.
Open shot for Johnson. Olajuwon guns it from Maxwell. Oh, the Rockets are up 16-4, and the Suns will talk it over.
Well, the Rockets ready to run on any kind of steal or any kind of missed shot. They are running out quickly, releasing on the jump shot. There, the throw ahead to Vernon Maxwell, and then Akeem Olajuwon on the strong rebound, looking up right away. Never brought the ball down. Hits Vernon Maxwell on the fly.
Illustrious 10-year NBA career, Charles Barkley has been involved in a number of big games. What is his mindset going into this type of game?
Nobody slept last night. Anybody tell you they slept last night, they're lying. You didn't get much sleep and you were up early again this morning. Everybody's hyper. It's not a scared. You're going to get the game started. We're very fortunate that we're playing the first game today. You don't have to sit around all day and worry about it.
I think Charles Barkley using a little bit of reverse psychology. There's no question you're going to have butterflies before a game like this, but maybe they talked about it too much.
Well, Phoenix has come out and missed 8 of its first 9 shots. Barkley to the fadeaway. Charles Barkley with his first field goal. The Rockets 16 and the Suns 6. Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell in the backcourt. Akeem Olajuwon, Otis Thorpe, and Robert Horry on the front line. Here's Thorpe over Klein, who just checked in. Otis Thorpe with the hook shot against Joe Klein. Joe Klein had a good game on Thursday. Early entrance for Klein, replacing Oliver Miller. Barkley got the step and just did get it off the glass, beating Olajuwon.
Well, it's always an effective play when the Suns run that little two-man play with Kevin Johnson and Charles Barkley. Akeem saw it coming, got there, but just couldn't get a hand on it.
Maxwell had Thorpe driving for the hoop. Thorpe saying, my fault. AC Green getting down court in a hurry. AC Green, 9 for 10 in game 6. 22 points Thursday night, and he has been hitting the long-range shot. Olajuwon stopped by Klein. Here's Horry, lost it. Stripped by Barkley. 3-on-2. Marley all the way. Yes, and it counts. Dan Marley with the basket, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Dan Marley, who has really been struggling from the perimeter, shooting decent three-point shots, but not much else, as Charles Barkley turns on the defense, flicks that ball loose from Robert Horry, and this is what Dan Marley needs to get himself going. Some so-called easy baskets, some layups, some higher percentage shot, as Paul Westphal, nobody more happy than Paul in his building to see Dan Marley finally get a hoop.
Dan Marley 0 for 6 in game 5 in 20 minutes, 1 for 7 the other night in game 6. And that one basket was a tip-in. 18-13. Rockets up with 5:20 to go in this first quarter. Olajuwon with a bad pass. Threw it into a crowd. Kevin Johnson had it knocked away. Back comes Maxwell. Maxwell trying to accelerate. Good play by Green to bat it. And last touched by the Rockets.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it, but you can tell by the reaction by Maxwell that it was a good call. Quick hands by A.C. Green to bang it off the knee of Vernon Maxwell. Both Smith and Vernon have been taking the ball to the basket more when the Rockets play their best basketball, not just relying on the jumper.
Rockets committing 4 consecutive turnovers, adding to that 7-0 run by the Suns. Rockets have that good spurt. Suns getting back into it. Thorpe. He was fouled, hit by Marley.
Otis playing with that hip pointer. One of the reasons for the change in the starting lineup for the Suns 2 games ago, getting A.C. Green in there and Cedric Ceballos out, was so Charles Barkley would not have to match up with Thorpe. Now, the Rockets were going to that time and time again inside, and Thorpe is a very good low post player. Also, Cedric Ceballos has not been an effective player against the Rockets. His inside game and all those little shots around the basket seem to be negated by Akeem Olajuwon.
As a result, Cedric Ceballos playing only 3 minutes in Game 6. Otis Thorpe missing on both. Here's Joe Klein. Good hustle by Olajuwon.
Well, the Suns always looking for transition opportunities, but they don't need a quick shot like that from Joe Klein. He's better off standing on the perimeter and getting kickouts.
Thorpe gets inside. Otis Thorpe in his 10th season out of Providence. A.C. Green is fouled. And you just saw an example of that transition by the Suns. Robert Horry collecting his second foul.
Both teams have been guilty of not getting back quickly enough. Of course, you have some of the quickest players in the NBA right now, especially the Suns with Kevin Johnson, who looks up the floor at every time, and A.C. Green religiously runs the floor every time. Not just when he thinks he's going to get a pass or he thinks there's an opening. He runs all the time to put pressure on his opponent.
A.C. Green, a 74% free throw shooter. He's had his problems in this series, only 51% at the line. Robert Horry, after picking up his second foul, will sit down, replaced by Mario Elie, who comes off a 15-point game on Thursday. Rockets with a 20-15 lead. We come up on 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Houston Rockets finished at 58-24 in the regular season. They won the Midwest Division by 3 games over San Antonio, then defeated Portland in the opening round 3 games to 1. Here's Olajuwon, rebounded by Green. A.C. Green now being played by Mario Elie. Barkley for 3. Yes! Charles Barkley has 9 points, and the Suns, after the slow start, are now within 3.
I've been watching Charles run up and down the floor, Marv. He is hurting. Yeah, that's why he stood out on the perimeter. He feels that's probably the only way he can help his team right now. He's not moving very well.
Thorpe and Green got involved on the follow-through after that hook. Here's Marley for 3. And rebounded by Olajuwon, his 6th rebound of the quarter. Maxwell trying to pull up.
But both teams, every player on the floor has the gun ready, and I don't care where they're standing. Every shot looks like a good one to each of the players.
Beautiful lead from Elie to set up Olajuwon. Akeem with a second field goal. He has 4, and the Rockets have a 4-point lead. This is a Phoenix Suns team that went 56-26 in a very tough injury hit campaign. They finished 2nd in the Pacific, 7 games behind Seattle. Won their last 7 games of the regular season, and then they swept the Golden State Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. Sparked by Charles Barkley. Marley not able to hit, but Klein gets another opportunity, but lost it to Smith. Kenny Smith off the steal, eluding Barkley. Maxwell kept it alive. Back come the Suns. Kevin Johnson for Dan Marley. Well, Marley got to continue shooting, but he's going at the same pace. 1 for 5 thus far. Otis Thorpe. Thorpe with the reverse throwing glass to give the Rockets a 6-point advantage.
Well, the biggest waste of electricity right now is the shot clock. They don't even need that thing. Both teams are using about 4 or 5 seconds every trip down the floor.
Well, Matt Phoenix has already attempted 20 shots. Houston 18. And Johnson is fouled. on Otis Thorpe. We'll be right back. Well, it's been a very difficult injury-hit season for Charles Barkley, bothered by a bad back and an injured knee, and now a pulled groin muscle. And Matt, as you mentioned, looks to be struggling with the pulled groin. Let's go to Ahmad for more on that.
All right, Marv, I just spoke with Charles during that timeout and asked him about that groin pull, and he just shook his head. He's in a lot of pain, but like he said before the game, this is the kind of pain that he'll have to play through, and it can't keep him out of a game like this, but he is certainly not operating at full strength. Marv?
He is off to the good start, though. 3 of 6, including 1 from downtown. He's the high man with 9 points. Kevin Johnson at the line as we resume. 1:55 to go in this first quarter. The Rockets now lead 24-19.
Charles Barkley is at his best when he's taking the ball to the basket, getting to the offensive boards, and making the defense react to him. Right now, he doesn't seem to have the movement to do that, and what he'll try to do then is take a lot of perimeter shots. If he makes them, fine, the Suns can stay in the game. If he misses, the Rockets are going to lay it up at the other end.
Substitution for Houston, Sam Cassell, the rookie from Florida State, has checked in, along with the veteran Earl Curidan, involved in that battle with Joe Klein, and that was last touched by Klein. How about Earl Curidan, 36 years old, spent 10 years in the NBA. He was signed late last month. 3 months ago, he was playing for Magic Johnson's barnstorming team in Europe. Here's Olajuwon. 6 points for Olajuwon, and the Rockets are up 26-20. Did Earl Curidan play when you were playing, that? Seems like that.
I was an assistant coach when Earl Curidan was with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Maxwell with the steal, and Cassell gets it down for Ellie. It counts. Single foul on Klein.
Well, the Rockets have a small front line in there and lots of speed on the steal by Maxwell. Ellie taking off, and it's a cross-match situation. Ellie has been guarding A.C. Green at the other end, but Charles Barkley is trying to guard him at the other end, and A.C. Green actually has to pick him up first. Mario
Ellie has been a very valuable player for the Houston Rockets. The greeting for Mario's good friend Danny Ainge, who just checked in that off the incident in which Ainge fired the ball and clipped Ellie, leading to a fine assessed on Ainge.
And he admitted to doing it because both Ellie and Olajuwon were celebrating.
A minute to go in this first quarter. Klein with the fake. Klein with the rebound. And he's fouled. He was hacked on the play by Olajuwon.
Well, in Game 6, Joe Klein got a lot of wide-open jump shots because Olajuwon was patrolling the basket area. The coaching staff of the Rockets talked to Hakeem, showed him on tape, so now that little head fake, he was out there to challenge that shot. Hakeem will try to do anything he can to help his team win in every phase.
Joe Klein signed as a free agent after 4.5 years with Boston. Originally a #1 draft pick of the Sacramento Kings back in 1985. Hard-nosed, solid backup. I would say the quintessential backup center.
Well, Mark West, who normally is the starter for the Suns, he's bothered by injuries throughout this playoffs, and that's what has put Oliver Miller into the starting lineup. However, at the start of today's game, Oliver was totally ineffective at both ends of the floor.
Cassell getting it inside. And Earl Curidan with his first field goal to give the Rockets a 10-point lead.
Well, you just don't want to give Earl any easy shots like that. You want to try to make him make a jump shot before he gets off for the layup. Charles Barkley just never saw it.
Barkley, another three-point attempt with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Rockets up 31-21, and looks like Cassell and Ainge got involved. Cassell pointing at Ainge walking towards him, and double technicals have been called by Bill Oates. So the battle continues. Danny Ainge and the rookie Sam Cassell having words. Double technical on Ainge and Cassell. And Cassell's teammates are trying to calm him down. And Dick Bavetta comes over to tell us double personal and double technicals called on Ainge and Cassell.
Well, look at the right side of your screen down on the bottom over there, over on the right. Both Danny Ainge and Sam Cassell, the rookie, getting all tied up there, and they start shoving away. First, Dick Bavetta, I thought, was going to call just a double foul, and as he turned to go to the scorer's table, referee Billy Oakes saw more talking and more motions for going together and decided to call the double technical.
These are two fiery players. Sam Cassell now being calmed down by Mr. Mean himself, Larry Smith, who also played in very aggressive fashion. Maxwell off the mark. But the rebound handled by...
Well, the Suns have a small front line in there with Marley out there, but he didn't keep him off the board.
Ainge was surprised by that pass. Confusion by the Suns in these final seconds as the first quarter comes to a close. The Rockets are fired up. They lead by 12 after one. Houston shooting 15 of 24, 63% in the first quarter. Danny Ainge has not been a favorite of Houston Rocket players or Houston fans off this incredible incident that took place in Game 3.
Well, Danny Ainge very upset with the actions of Mario Elie and Olajuwon there as the Rockets were thumping the Phoenix Suns on their home floor and celebrating what Danny felt way too early. And he said he intentionally threw the ball at him, but did not intentionally try to hit Mario Elie in the face.
Oh?
I don't know what he was aiming for. But, you know, Danny was not a pitcher, but an infielder and a pretty good arm.
Yes, he was whipping throws from across the diamond from third base in his brief tenure with the Toronto Blue Jays. Ahmad just mentioned that Sam Cassell, who got involved in that tirade a moment ago with Ainge, just apologized to his team for losing control. Well, Rudy T bought it because Cassell is back on the floor. Olajuwon coming up short. And Cassell with the save. Second quarter just underway. Here is Cassell. And a foul is called. It is a hack. Foul committed by Ainge, his second.
Danny Ainge has to get himself under control right now. You do want to challenge every jump shot, but a foolish foul there, as I think Danny is getting a little bit caught up with the actions with Cassell, with Mario Elie, and with Vernon Maxwell. He's going to be a very important factor for the Suns today, as they're going to have to find some kind of scoring. Other than Kevin Johnson, other than Charles Barkley, they're going to have to get scoring from other sources. Danny Ainge is going to have to be one of those guys.
Sam Cassell, a first-round draft pick out of Florida State. He's given the Rockets a 35-21 lead. Kevin Johnson, his second field goal. He has 6, and it's Houston by 12. Houston got off to the fast start. They led 16-4. Phoenix missing 8 of their first 9 from the field before they were able to settle down. 7th and deciding game between the Suns and the Rockets. A minute into the second quarter. Oliver Miller with his first bucket.
Well, after a couple of poor shots in the early going, that time he didn't waste any time, just tried to shoot the ball in rhythm. And it's going to have to be somebody else for the Suns to make a contribution.
Olajuwon fires it cross court to Elie. The pass picked off by Barkley. Here's Miller racing with Cassell, who comes up with it. Open shot for Kenny Smith. Olajuwon. Well, the Rockets getting to every loose ball here in the first half, and Charles Barkley is upset.
And he is very upset with Oliver Miller. He feels his one job out there is to not lose sight of Olajuwon. Keep his body on him at all times and not give him those easy baskets. He's going to get enough of the other kind.
Rockets by 12. Miller gets inside and draws the foul. The combination of Curidan and Olajuwon reacting. It appeared there was a foul call, and then a change. The outside official made the call of a traveling violation.
Well, Dick Bavetta had a foul call. He was the underneath official at the other end of the floor. The outside official, Darryl Garrison, called the walk. And Darryl won the argument, so to speak. Seniority prevailed.
Well, the feeling that Garrison had the better look. Garrison did make the travel call, but apparently the players did not realize it as Bavetta was calling the foul. Shot clock at 6. Smith for 3. And a loose ball foul is called as Curidan hits the deck. Charles Barkley arguing as he is hit with his first personal. And 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The Rockets by 12. And now Barkley being ushered aside by his coach, Paul Westphal. Now the timeout is taken. We'll be right back.
Well, a couple of minutes ago, we had a disputed call. Dick Bavetta underneath calling a foul on Hakeem Olajuwon. The outside official, Darryl Garrison, noticing the feet of Oliver Miller as he shuffled them before he was in the act of shooting, and an accurate call there. At the other end, Earl Curidan getting excellent inside position on Charles Barkley, and Charles just with a little shove. The good acting job by Earl Curidan to draw the foul. Another good call by Darryl Garrison. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah. Earl Curidan, one-time 76er, one-time Piston, played for Charlotte, the Clippers. He was with the Knicks briefly. He has resurfaced in the NBA after a tour of Europe with the Magic Johnson barnstorming team, and then saw some action in the CBA with Sioux Falls. And a foul is called. It's an offensive foul on Otis Thorpe, who just checked back in.
Well, Hakeem Olajuwon on the bench getting a rest right now. They want to get inside to Otis Thorpe, who's a very good post player. A.C. Green, who works hard defensively, but believe it or not, gives up a lot of strength there. Actually, the offensive foul by Thorpe.
And Cedric Ceballos has come on for the first time. Here's Green for 3. So A.C. is not hitting the three-pointers here in the first half. That's Thorpe posting up on Green. Rebounded by Ceballos. Johnson and Ainge in the backcourt. Barkley, Green, Ceballos up front. Suns incidentally in a 1 of 8 from three-point land. Nice move by Johnson. 8 points for Kevin Johnson, and the Rockets now lead by 10. Matt, you look back over the 3 Houston victories this series. They shot 54% from the field today. Houston at 55%. Darryl Garrison blowing the whistle.
A.C. Green and Otis Thorpe, who've been banging away at each other inside as A.C. tried to get that position. Kind of a cross-check from behind by Thorpe as he hit him in the back and the back of the head.
Apparently A.C. Green sustained a cut, and he is headed back to the locker room, followed by Phoenix trainer Joe Prosky, so they'll take care of that.
Right in the back of his head. He obviously caught the tip of the elbow, which cut his skin, and he'll have to get tended to by trainer Joe Prosky. And the short rest of Hakeem Olajuwon is over. It must have been fun for the Suns while it lasted.
Here's Cassell. Sam Cassell providing a 39-27 Houston lead. The Rockets have led most of the way. Phoenix with the first basket of the game, and then the Rockets were on fire. Klein came up short. Back comes Smith. Whips it down to Ellie. Ellie for Olajuwon. And Klein rebound. Now the Suns want to run. Rockets get back. Barkley passed on the open shot. Nice pass for Sabatos. Barkley did not want the screen from Ainge. He waved it off and then was able to drill it down low.
I think Charles also realizes that the Suns have taken too many quick shots in this first half. They've got to get better percentage shots.
Beautiful move by Hakeem Olajuwon. 10 points for Olajuwon. He's hit 5 out of 12 from the field. Rockets by 12. Olajuwon with his 8th rebound. Cassell for 3. Barkley on the box out. Looking over to Darryl Garrison, feeling his case. He felt he was hit.
Well, they've already had a long debate on the previous push-off by Barkley on Puritan. Charles going to try to do anything he can. He's laboring physically right now.
Sabalos. Rebounded by Thorpe. Cassell pushing it down. Cassell able to penetrate, and then it's kicked out of bounds. Last touch by the Rockets.
And Charles Barkley took that charge on Cassell, and when Cassell fouled, he rolled over onto Charles right in the area where that groin is really bothering him, as Charles is writhing in pain right now. He's having all kinds of problems. But all that lobbying with Darryl Garrison may have paid off on this call, as he moved really and was not set in taking that charge. But right here, as Cassell reacts, he's trying to get up and in some way injure Charles Barkley.
Timeout called with 6:55 remaining in the first half. It's the Rockets 41 and the Suns 29.
Penetration by Sam Cassell on the down the lane as he bangs into Charles Barkley. He felt that that ball went off the back of the leg of Charles Barkley, and he's trying to indicate to the official just what happened. And watch the back of Charles' left leg as it rolled right down the back of his heel, and Sam Cassell was correct. But the position of Sam Cassell in lying against the very weak right leg of Charles Barkley, as Charles is in a lot of pain just trying to get the young rookie off him.
All right, for more on Charles' status and A.C. Green, who a moment ago headed back to the Phoenix locker room. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. Matty, you hit it right on the head with Charles Barkley. He just restrained that injured groin. Anytime he gets out of control, it's put too much pressure on the leg. In terms of A.C. Green, he took a shot from Otis Thorpe. Otis' teeth hit him in the back of the head, and they are now putting sutures in the back of A.C. Green's head, and he will be prepared to play as soon as they finish. Marv?
Thank you, Ahmad. Phoenix continues to have difficulties with the outside shot, and they're 1 for 9 from downtown. 6:20 to go. First half. Rockets 41, the Suns 29. Rockets only 3 of 10 here in the second quarter, but they've maintained the 12-point lead. Olajuwon. Rebounded by Marley.
Excellent defense that time by Klein to challenge the shot by Hakeem.
Barkley for 3. And a loose ball foul is called on Klein.
Olajuwon, who has excellent footwork down on that baseline. You're always afraid of him making that move into the lane for the jump hook, so you make him go the other way. He makes a strong move, and Joe Klein did the best he could. Just went up with the outstretched arm to try to make him change it.
Phoenix Suns went all season never losing more than 2 straight games, but they lost 3 in a row to Houston in this series, able to bounce back with the win Thursday to keep it alive. Klein with the rejection. Klein stopped Horry. Ainge on a pull-up. Well, that could get the Suns going. They now trail 41-31.
Well, the Suns are not known as a solid defensive team, but they do have their moments, and Joe Klein has given them a lift on the last 2 trips by Houston.
Maxwell not happy with the hand check by Marley. Mad Max, Vernon Maxwell trying to set it up. Barkley hit the floor once again, and a foul is called. Barkley pushed by Thorpe, and that's 3 on Otis Thorpe.
Well, Charles trying to battle Otis Thorpe before he gets in, and Charles really just touched there, and goes through the act and gets the call. You may be wondering why Charles is playing so many minutes while he's in such discomfort. When you have a pulled muscle like that, the worst thing you can do is sit down, because then you're going to cool off and you don't know if you'll ever get back into the ballgame. Or at least that's what Charles is telling Paul Westphal right now. Leave me out there.
Yes, Charles, as you can see, is hanging in throughout the pain. Otis Thorpe take it out. Rome Jordan checks back in. Here's Ainge for three. Rebounded by Olajuwon. And the Suns 1 for 11 beyond the three-point line. Maxwell and Cassell now at the guards. Jordan, beautiful feed for Cassell. Jordan has been a factor here in the first half.
All set up because the Suns really worried that Dan Marley can't stay with Maxwell. They all look to help him, and that opens spaces up for Jordan and Cassell.
Danny Ainge hears it from the crowd. Marley a little close, way off. He's 1 for 6. Maxwell with the room. Vernon Maxwell. And the Rockets lead it 45-31. But Sam Cassell is in pain now. He jammed a finger.
It's like a thumb.
But blocked by Olajuwon. Well, Cassell now back to the offense. Cassell going all the way. I guess he's all right.
Well, it always feels much better at the offensive end, Mark, than at the defensive end.
The Suns call for time. 4 minutes to go. First half of the 7th and deciding game. And the Rockets enjoying their biggest lead of the day. 16-point lead, as you say. The Phoenix Suns struggling with the outside shot. Only 1 for 11 from downtown. And Dan Marley could not turn it around. 0 for 6 in Game 5. 1 for 7. Game 6, and that was a tip-in. And today, 1 for 6 from the field, and he is 0 for 3 from downtown.
And you can see it in his eyes right now. He has a very low ebb as far as confidence is concerned. And he just does not get enough easy baskets to make up for all the three-point shots that he takes. And he has no life in his step right now. Not doing a good job at the defensive end either.
AC Green back at the Phoenix bench and getting ready to check in. Took 5 stitches in the back of his head, the result of the cuts that were on his head. Danny Ainge trying to fire it up, and the crowd certainly enjoyed that touch.
Well, he was momentarily open. This pass came a little bit too late, but nevertheless, Danny heard and felt the footsteps and the long reach of Hakeem Olajuwon. He forced him to throw it over the backboard.
AC Green has checked back in. Robert Horry for Mario Elie. And Hakeem Olajuwon in a battle down low with AC Green. Green with the box-out rebound. Johnson. Oh, what a move. Yes, and it counts. Kevin Johnson on the penetration. Able to beat Sam Cassell off the dribble.
Paul Westphal with his ball club down 14 points, trying anything right now, going to the small lineup, which he has used throughout this series. AC Green on Hakeem Olajuwon. That time it paid off as they did a good job on the box out. Actually, he had Danny Ainge breaking long for a layup. He did not look up, however.
3-point play for Johnson. He has 11, and the Rockets are up 47-34. 3:20 to go in this first half. Marv Albert, Matt Kukas, and Ahmad Rashad from the Summit in Houston. Bad shot by Olajuwon. But Cassell on the recovery. Oh, Olajuwon. Olajuwon got in position. He has 12 points. He leads the Rockets in scoring. Rockets up by 15. Ainge working off the screen. Met by Elie. Barkley played by Horry. Leg block called on Cassell, and Phoenix will get the new 24. At Florida State, Sam Cassell, the backcourt partner of Charlie Ward, Florida State quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner. And he led the ACC and set a Seminoles single-season record for steals. Also an excellent three-point shooter. Ainge for 3. And finally, the Phoenix Suns hit a three-pointer. That's their second. For Ainge, his first. Barkley hit the other. And the Rockets are up by 12. Olajuwon taking advantage here of the matchup against AC Green.
And the floor is spread so wide that nobody could get down to help and double team on Olajuwon, and just too much size and strength and able to shoot over AC.
Barkley isolated on Horry and then pops it out. Cassell got a piece of it. An outstanding first half for Sam Cassell.
Oh, he's had an outstanding rookie year. Actually, he has supplanted Scotty Brooks, who's been a key figure for this Rocket team over the last couple of years. He has been their finisher and has done very well. He can't get off the pine.
Aims for three again. Now the three-point shot getting the Suns back into it. They're down by 10.
And the reason they're getting so many better looks now is because the ball is going inside to Barkley, draw the double team, and then make two passes. You'll get a much better shot.
So the Rockets turn it over. Suns try to break down court and catch Houston. Barkley from beyond the arc. He hits the three. Look out, AC Green, Robert Horry had words, and Dick Bavetta very quick to break it up.
And about 3 or 4 of the Suns were about halfway out on the floor, ready to come, hopefully, to break that thing up.
The Suns have hit their last 3 from three-point land, and they're now down by only 8. Cassell, well, Phoenix collapsed on Olajuwon. They went with the double team, and it opened things up.
And there's just no shot blocking in there right now, so it'll be wise for the Rockets to take the ball to the basket at every opportunity.
Barkley drawing a double team, and that leads to an illegal defense call against Houston.
Well, the Suns have been saying all series long, as Rudy Tomjanovich wants a 20-second timeout, but they have been saying all season long that Hakeem Olajuwon is just playing goalie back in the lane, and has been illegal many, many times, but they have not gotten a lot of calls. They finally got one there. That ball going inside to Charles Barkley and tapped right back outside to Danny Ainge as he is starting to feel it, and that is starting to give the Suns a little bit of life. But it's very difficult, Marv, when you have to constantly rely on the three-point shot. The Suns are going to have to do a better job, and that's coming out in the second half defensively to get some easy baskets the other way.
Phoenix now 4 of 14 from downtown. Let's go back to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, the interesting thing is, on the previous timeout, Rudy Tomjanovich kept telling his team, do not give them the three-pointer. They came back, and Phoenix actually capitalized on 3 of them. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, Rudy Tomjanovich, as a player, a 5-time All-Star, as a Houston Rocket. This is 24th season with the Rockets franchise as a player and assistant coach, and now head coach. Rockets getting off to that terrific start. Tying the NBA record, most consecutive wins starting the season, opening at 15-0. They went to 22-1. Barkley. Charles Barkley has 14, and the Rocket lead, 116, is now 8.
Charles Barkley did the smart thing there. After he gave it up out of the double team, he kept himself moving and wound up with a good shot.
Cassell, air ball. Barkley pops it down. Marley putting the move on Maxwell. And the Suns in the midst of a run. They've hit their last 6 shots, and they're down by only 6 points. 25 seconds to go in the first half. A 14-6 spurt by Phoenix. Houston having trouble finding a shot. 3 on the 24. Olajuwon. Barkley with the rebound. Final seconds of the half. Here's Ainge. Firing. So the rally by the Phoenix Suns after the hot start by the Houston Rockets. Rockets led by as many as 16, but at halftime it is down to a 6-point Rocket lead. Charles Barkley with 14 points, 5 of 10 from the field, and Hakeem Olajuwon 7 of 17, 14 points and 10 rebounds. 7th and deciding game of this best of 7. Rockets by 6. Stay tuned for Bob at the Prudential halftime.